Hello guys, today we'll be playing a game called Delete. It is a Minesweeper-esque game. In this game, you have to clear out all of the squares and mark where the mines are. And the square with a number determines the amount of mines around that square. For example, you see 0 means that all squares around it have no mines. And you do this by left-clicking. And you see this number 8, that means there are 8 squares around it that have mines, and since there are 8 squares around it, you can assume all 8 have mines. Very straightforward based on what we have learned so far. Oop, I accidentally left clicked there. Okay. Very simple. And as you can see, there are 2 around the 2. 2 squares for 2. So both of them have to be mines. And as you can tell, the square of the mine also affects other blocks. So it's not just one block that represents all the mines around it. Multiple blocks can be used with numbers to show that there is a mine around it. Right. Very straightforward. Always click the squares around the 0. So this is actually a 3D perspective of Minesweeper. Sorry, it took a while for me to process in my head. That's pretty cool so far. And as you can tell, there's like this area of 0. Oop, misclicked there. That we can assume. And since there's 2 and there's 2 squares here, so therefore those have to be mines. And now there are 2 mines around this square, so that means this has to be a set of mines. And there's 2 around this one at the very edge. The edge ones are important because it helps you determine where the mines are, and it is the safest place to start. Because let's say if you start in the middle, there's a chance that because there are 3 squares, 2 of them are mines and 1 of them isn't, and you may have just mismarked them. There you go. That's how I solve it. Pretty easy, right? I really enjoy the aesthetics of this game so far. Not that Classic Minesweeper was bad. Classic Minesweeper is enjoyable. Like all games, the design is more important than the graphical effects. Of course, there's always a minimum. Obviously, compared to Minesweeper, this is significantly more graphically focused. But at the same time, you have these really cool 3D levels, different perspective, and therefore should be more difficult as we progress into the game. Should be. Let's see. Okay, so there's 1 here. There's 3 of them surrounding 1 of them, so it has to be that. And since there's a 0, we can just click away around the zeros. There are 4, and there are 4 blocks, so we just mark all these 4. Pretty straightforward. And there's 1 here, and 1 block only. Ta-da! This level looks pretty cool. 1. Okay, so this is interesting. If you hold down a square of a number, you can see the surrounding blocks. So this thing has contact with 3. This has contact with a lot of them, 5. This has contact with 3 as well. Okay, so I am thinking that. Oh wait, let's check the zero out. Okay, that helps us narrow it down. And see, there's always a right answer here. Very logical. Always clear out the zeros. Uh-huh. There's a zero here, so this has to be a clear space. Also, one thing I just realized in this game is that as you clear them out, you can tell which ones become zero and thus lead to your clearing or marking of a space. And I think it's more important to clear out the right ones so you can get your nearest neighbor to be a zero. That should be the goal. But of course, you can take chances, but it's not suggested. After all, I've read a line on Steam reviews that this game is very logical and there's always a way to figure things out. But right now we're on the newer levels, so I don't know how exactly that will pan out. But let us continue. There is only one in here. And since this says there's only one, this has to be marked. That's a zero. That means there's nothing here. We can clear this one out. That wasn't too bad. Definitely took a little longer than my other levels, for sure. Okay, this one is a conundrum so far. Because for this one, there are two values. For this one, there are three values. For this one, there are three values. I say values, but what I mean, there are squares. And this one has four squares. So it's very likely that the one with, oh, by the way, the two dots, I just realized this, are your lives. So if you accidentally marked one incorrectly, you lose a dot. And then you lose that level and you're forced to restart it. Which doesn't make a difference. There's no scoring system in the game. It's just think through this, progress through it. It's very relaxing. No pressure. The only frustrations you will have is the inability to complete it. And that's perfectly fine. It's a puzzle game. Let's see. I'm guessing it has to be one of these two. So if I mark this as red, this will turn into a zero. This will be a zero, and this will be a zero. There's only one around here. I think this is the logical choice. I am wrong. Hmm. Okay, I'll mark this. I don't know why I was wrong. Um, Logically, well, I do actually. There's a possibility that it could be one or the other because I didn't have enough information. But again, I'm not the smartest person there is. I'm just figuring out this game, and hopefully, this gets me somewhere. Okay, so there's one here. two around it, so there's a good chance this is one of them. How do you logically figure this out? So if I said this, if I mark this as a mine, this will turn to zero. This will be zero. This will be one, and any one of these could be a one of a mine. So this is a if this would be a one, it's anything surrounding this mine. I could just simply say it's this and this. I say these two are mines. That this will be a zero. This will be a zero. This will be a zero, and what would help me solve this one? Huh. But fact is, this has to be a mine because this is in contact with something. Well, no, not necessarily. Should I take a risk? I'll take a risk. I was wrong. Okay. How? That was tough comparison to the last one. So it is getting harder for sure. Also, the number up top shows you how many mines there are left. So there are 13 mines here. Actually, I haven't been looking at this number, so maybe that'll help me deduce it better. There's six around here, and there is one. So these three are in contact, so there has to be one of them in here for sure. We don't have enough information about these three though. These five squares. So one of these three has to be a mine. Chances are small you'll actually hit it though. So but if I think about it, it's 1 in 3 chance that one of these is actually a mine. There's a higher chance that the rest of these are mines. So it's actually better if I mark them. Okay, I clearly messed up there. Huh. That's a clear. I did not account for that. Man, just this quick story. Whenever I was in this math class, so right now I'm learning some pretty high level math, and one of the true and false questions always tripped me up, no matter what. And it was one of those type of math problems in which you're expected to account for all the possibilities before you can state that it was true or false, and then you need to prove it. I always trip up on those, and this is the type of game in which you need to consider all possibilities. It's a strong, challenging game in that aspect. And you can apply that logic to a lot of things. For example, a argument. A lot of times people will give a argument towards a specific topic, yet they don't consider all of the logic around it. That's unfortunate, and this is something that the game hopefully would be able to remind everyone of. Think of all sides, think of all possibilities, and then make your debate. Um, Sorry for getting off topic. Let us get back to the game. So there are three, there are two. So it overlaps here, and there's an overlap here as well. So one there. It's all in from 3, 2, 1. It's overlapping of effects. So we know these aren't the right answers. Like what we know this one isn't right, so it has to be this. And I screwed up. Darn. Okay, so we know this is clear. Last time we saw that this was a red, this was a... Did I click the wrong way? Yeah, I clicked the wrong. I accidentally left clicked. I'm playing this right now on my laptop, so my accuracy might prevent me from succeeding. Although I will say I'm not the best at this right now. Oh, so I was right. I must have definitely misclicked it. Okay then. So there's only one of these are actually the... How to argue that this is right? One of these two, one of these four, and one of these four. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and there's 2 blocks, and it has to be one of these. One of these is right, one of these is wrong. Okay, that helps significantly. Okay, so I'm glad this is relaxing music. Sometimes certain puzzle games will drive the anxiety and stress out of me because of how frustrating it is. But let's see. Let's see how we can do this. 2 here. There's 4 here. That's 3, and that's a 4. We know this one is marked as red. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's an overlap here, as well as here. I wonder if there's like a specific rule to help me filter out which is like if overlap is really a huge thing in the game. So there's only one, but I can't tell where. I feel like there's a lot of guessing. Well, we'll figure this out. Maybe it's logic based on chance. Hmm. That indeed, each level is getting harder and harder. Not gonna lie, the person who designed this is pretty ingenious. Oh, the soundtrack is different this time. I wonder what these do. I have no idea. This game is all about exploration as well. Figuring out what does what. Okay. So the number changes from 2, 1. There's 1 around here to 2 around here. Well, that's a 0. I guess this is where the game comes in. What makes it so different? Installing one here. Turns into a 1. So that should be a 0. I was right. Sorry, I'm not giving much commentary. I'm trying to focus and see what I can get right and what can get wrong. I feel like I'm getting better, or this one is actually easier. I feel like this one's actually easier. My thought process. Here we go. The number really at the top, now thinking about it, doesn't really matter too much. Unless once you get to the end, that's where it matters a lot. Okay, what is that? Does that mean there's 1 all the way? I'm confused. I mean, there's 0 along this direction. It's saying there's a 1 in this direction. Oh, okay. Saying that there are zeros in these falling directions and there are ones in these falling direction, and that should help us out. This kind of a tooltip should help us out, unless it's like the only thing, and that will be very. No, shouldn't do that. Saying there is a 0 in this direction, there's a 0 in that direction. Wait, I'm confused. Oh, wait, I'm dumb. Okay, so there are no more ones in this direction, as pointed out by this. So I can just click away, right? Yes, I was right. I can just click away. There's a 1 around here, so it has to be there. And these are no more in that direction. My bad. I might. I keep accidentally clicking the wrong, left and right clicking incorrectly on my laptop. Usually I have a mouse with me, so that could be a reason why. After this level, I think we'll cut it. But this has been a fun game so far. Alright, that's going to be the last level for today. I hope you guys enjoy this video. My thoughts on the game so far, it's pretty good. If you press this button here, you get access to the settings and what you want to do with the controls and the music, and if you want to quit. And these are the current levels we have finished so far. So we have finished 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 levels. This game is fantastic. On Steam, it stays fantastic. It was very cheap. It was on sale. Honestly, it doesn't even need to be on sale to be bought. It's like $2 or something. not on sale. But I'll leave the link in the description to the game, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's my first video in a long while, so I hope you guys can bear with me as I get better through this. Thank you guys, and have a good day.